Today, I'm in northern Ghana, where a man is about to become a chief, not a mayor, nor a member of parliament, a chief. For many people outside Africa, that might sound like something from the distant past, a title that belongs to history books. But here, traditional leadership is still very much alive, and today, hundreds of people have gathered here to witness it.
What is really going on here? What is actually happening?
I get to watch and then the installation of Chief of Gundana, which is Kasalmu.
Whoever is watching will understand what is going on here. You know, we are currently in Kasalmu for the installation of Gundana title.
As I walk through the crowd, one thing immediately stands out. This is no ordinary event. As you can clearly see, it is a moment of significance for an entire community. People have actually traveled from different towns and villages to get here. Families are dressed in their finest traditional clothing. Drums echo through the air. Elders sit together discussing matters that stretch far beyond today. Because this ceremony is about much more than one man. Special ceremonies like these are about leadership, tradition, and very importantly, identity. It is really interesting witnessing it. When many people think of Africa, they often think of the headlines they see on television, from politics to economic challenges. But here is another side of Africa that rarely makes the international news, which is a side built on customs and traditions that have survived for generations. And today we are seeing one of them right in front of us, the installation of a chief. What's fascinating is that Ghana already has a government. The country has courts, it has police and elected officials. So the question is, why do chiefs still matter? That is a question many outsiders ask. The answer lies in something deeper than politics. Chiefs are often custodians of culture and therefore preserve traditions. They also settle disputes and represent the history of a people. And in many communities, they continue to command enormous respect.
In our tradition, if there is no chief, there is nothing can go on, because that's our leaders. And every kingdom, animal kingdom, there will be a leader. Yes. So that's our leaders. They lead us to where we are going to, or we are going to.
As I look around, I notice people greeting elders with great reverence. Respect here is visible. You can see it in the way people speak, the way they sit. Even it is present in the way they interact. And that respect extends to the institution of chieftaincy. Because while governments may change every few years, traditions can survive for centuries. One of the most interesting things about leadership is that every society has its own way of defining it. In some places, leadership is based entirely on elections. In others, it comes from military power. In business, leadership is often linked to money and success. But here, leadership is connected to heritage, responsibility, and service to a community. And that makes this ceremony worth paying attention to. As the drumming intensifies, the atmosphere becomes even more energetic. Traditional drumming is not just entertainment. If you observe it closely, you would notice it is also about communication and storytelling. For me, I also see it as history being expressed through rhythm. Long before social media, long before radio, long before television, communities used music, dance, and oral traditions to pass knowledge from one generation to the next. And today, those traditions remain alive. One thing I find fascinating is the contrast between old and new. Many people here arrived in modern vehicles. Most have smartphones in their pockets. Some are probably posting clips of this event on social media right now. Yet at the same time, they are participating in a tradition that predates all of these technologies. It is honestly so interesting how modernization does not necessarily mean abandoning culture. Sometimes the two exist side by side. The man at the center of today's ceremony is receiving more than a title. He's receiving expectations because people will look to him for guidance and expect him to represent their interests. They will also expect him to preserve traditions while also helping the community move forward. That is not a small responsibility. Leadership often looks glamorous from the outside, but the reality is that leadership usually means carrying the weight of other people's expectations. As I watch the celebrations unfold, I can't help but think about how every society needs symbols of identity, symbols of continuity, and most importantly, symbols that connect the past to the future. And for many communities in Ghana, chiefs serve exactly that purpose. They are more like living links between generations. Perhaps that is why ceremonies like this continue to attract so much attention. Because in addition to people celebrating a person, they are also celebrating a tradition, a shared history, a collective identity, and a sense of belonging. In a world that is changing rapidly, traditions often face pressure. Some disappear completely, others adapt and survive. And the institution of chieftaincy in Ghana has managed to do exactly that. It has evolved while remaining relevant to many communities. And that is why events like this continue to matter. Standing here in northern Ghana today, surrounded by music, celebration, and tradition, I'm reminded that Africa is often far more complex than many people imagine. This continent is home to thousands of cultures, traditions, and countless stories. Today, I've had the privilege of witnessing one of these stories, the installation of a chief, a ceremony that connects the past with the present, and perhaps the present with the future. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Do traditional leaders still play an important role in society? Or do you think institutions like chieftaincy belong in the past?